welcome to YS Khong Driving. We are now at the most fun gym in Sungai Penchala, and today we're going to have a bit of fun with this Subaru because we're going to take it up this big hill. We're going to go up to the top of this hill, right to the very top at the edge of the trees, and it is very, very steep. Okay, we start off the little adventure by getting onto the track. This track is the most fun gym track, and it is meant actually for motocross bikes. Now, what the organizers have done is modify the track slightly to make it possible for the SUV here, which is the Subaru XV. The Forester is also here on test, but we are looking at the XV for this one. Now, off-road driving is not about going fast and getting through, because that may damage your vehicle, but it's about traction and also about getting through safely without damaging your vehicle. The systems in the vehicle also help to provide traction, and in this case the Subaru XV has a very special system called the X mode. Okay, going through the first obstacle, it is a slanted slope, which is a slope that has an angle to it, and it is steep and slippery with some ruts, but the X mode sees it through without any problem. Further down the road, there are more ruts, and what the organizers have done is kept this track as natural as possible with the potholes and ruts, and if you are not careful, you can still damage your body parts. So this is what makes it so interesting, because if they made it so safe, you know, that everybody can pass, then there's no adventure. So as you look down there, you can see potholes, you can see ruts, so you still have to steer. Now, there are some places where there's a big drop, and the driver has to be careful that you don't scrape the bottom or the center of the vehicle as you go through. And here is where the 220 mm ground clearance of the XV helps a lot. Next, we come to a very rutted climb, which is quite steep, and you can see here you can pick your way through it at a nice and steady speed, and the X mode will see you through. The X mode also has another feature which is very good. It has torque vectoring, and if one wheel gets hung up or slipping or is slipping, then the torque vectoring system locks the wheel that is slipping by using brakes and transfers drive to the other side of the axle. So this way, even if you have diagonal wheels stuck, you can still have grip going to the other side. And this is very important to get up a slope like this, which is very steep, but the XV goes through it without any problem. Now, I can say that many equivalent SUVs would not be able to make it through this track because it is very challenging, and there are many places, in fact three or four places, where you actually get diagonal wheels, that means opposite ends of the wheel hung up. Now, when your car is said to be all-wheel drive, it means that you can get drive to the front and rear axles, but most times drive only goes to one side because of the open diff system. And on this slope like this, somewhere up the slope, there will be a moment in time when two of your wheels or one of your wheels could be in mid-air, and that will compromise grip. But the XV has got the X mode, and X mode transfers drive to left and right, front and back, to make sure you get through even this slope easily. And here we're coming to a very sharp left turn, and we have to keep to the right in order to make it through. But the short turning circle of the XV really helps here, and we can make it through without any problem. And you can see again the ruts you have to avoid. You're going to keep to the right, then you're going to keep to the left, you know, and make sure that you don't take off your fenders. Although the ground clearance is good, there are some places where if you go inside the hole, it will tear out some part of the body. So you still have to navigate through it with care. And here we are at the very top of the hill, and you can see all the way down to the bottom. This slope is very steep. It's about 20 degrees at the steepest part, and but the good thing about the XV is that you can use the hill descent control. So to use the hill descent control, all you have to do is engage it, of course, and in X mode it's already automatically engaged. Then you take your foot off the accelerator, take your foot off the brake, and let the system bring the car down. All you have to do is look after the steering wheel, you know, like avoid the potholes, avoid the humps, avoid the dips, you know, make sure that your car is safe. And as you can see from the road here, it's really slippery because it rained last night, and if you're not careful, you can slide off if you're driving it by yourself. But the HDC or hill descent control will help you to take care of the situation. So even if you're not so good a driver, HDC will make you good. And if you're a very good driver, HDC makes you look like an expert. So this is the strength of the XV and the Forester, because they have all-wheel drive and they have X mode. And I can tell you with great confidence that not many of the vehicles in this category, SUVs in this category, even with four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, not many of them can make it through this course. And here we are going down the final slope, which is also very steep and very slippery too, because this is mud base, yeah. And we are going to reach the end of our adventure, which is at the bottom near where we started. So anyway, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now. Stay tuned.